Hi guys, it's Thomas here from COTBase.com. Welcome to a weekly COT review. Today we're going to be analyzing the 20th Commitments of Traders report of 2025, and as we always do, we shall start off by looking at the largest changes in commercials net positions. But before I jump to the review, just a brief reminder for those who are new to COT analysis. Here at COTBase.com, you'll find a lot of educational material. Not only do we have these in written format, but we have some very useful videos as well. If you have not yet subscribed, I would suggest subscribing to our YouTube channel where you can find a lot of information. I come up with these weekly COT reviews that can be very, very helpful understanding how to analyze Commitments of Traders report. If you like the video, please hit the like button. That would mean a lot to us. Thank you so much. Let's get into this week's review. We have heating oil on top of our list when we order markets based on the largest change in commercials net positions. We've got of course three main trader categories: commercials, large speculators, and small speculators. We're analyzing the classic CO2 report type and futures and options combined data type. So heating oil, 21% change over here. Let's see what that looks like on the chart. So we've got heating oil. This is a 1 year time frame. We have commercials in red. And this recent change size can be witnessed over here at the end of the chart. It is definitely greater than average, no question about that. It is a bearish COT change signal suggesting weakness coming early next week. Moving to a 5 years chart, you can see that overall the market is in a more bullish COT extreme territory. You can see that a bullish extreme from the end of last year was able to push the market a bit higher, but it eventually fell back down. And of course, as it did, we are not surprised to see the extreme once again widen towards the bullish side of things. I'm going to jump over to TradingView to show you heating oil from a different perspective. This is going to be using our own unique iCOT Intraday Indicator. This indicator has been developed after many years of research. The main component is the scores line. You can see these lines underneath the price chart. We've got, we can call them speculators in green, commercials in red. I should point out this is not the actual data from CFTC. It is our own unique indicator that we developed, and it is measuring strength and weakness in the market. This is a daily candlestick chart, and you can see that at bottoms we have these bullish extremes. At a top we have bearish extremes, bullish extreme over here. At that bottom we have a bearish extreme over here. Again, this is a daily candlestick chart. If we add the iCOT intraday indicator with AfterSignal, I'm going to add two of these indicators simultaneously. One is going to be focused on any opportunity that we have pointing upwards, and then the other one is going to be focusing on any opportunities that are on the short side of the market. And this is what we shall see. You can see for yourself how well the indicator can actually pinpoint stresses in the market, and then the after signal portion of the indicator filter out a bunch of signals. Now this is an intraday indicator, so I will switch the chart over to a 1 hour time frame, and you can see how it performs on that. This is a traditional futures market, heating oil. However, this indicator can be used on basically anything that has volume and price data. You can use it on stocks, you can use it on cryptocurrencies, you can use it on currency pairs. A very, very versatile indicator that is based on the Commitments of Traders report. Moving on to our next market, we have cocoa with a 19% change in commercials net position. Let's go to the 1 year chart. Here we go. So this is a slightly larger than average change size. I'd say top 10 for sure just by eyeballing it. It is a bearish COT change signal suggesting we may see a bit of a decline early next week. However, let's look what the wider perspective shows us on what traders are doing. Now, with this recent reading, if we take we look at commercials net position and we take this horizontal line over here, you can see that we are pretty much in between the main extremes, the most bullish and bearish COT extreme levels. I have talked about cocoa in the past few weeks, so anybody who's just joining in, I should point out that usually bearish extremes coincide with a top in the market. However, there's that very, 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 very rare case when commercial participants are forced to close their hedge contracts. So they're hedging in the market, right? They're not necessarily trading cocoa for speculation purposes, but rather hedging their normal business risks. So as the market's headed higher, they are going to be shorting the market. That's normal. However, if they start getting margin calls from the brokers, they would have to close their position, and this can fuel the rally which happened here in the cocoa market. So for now, I wouldn't put too much emphasis on this recent report, other than that we may see, based on the change size, a bit of a decline. Gasoline is our next market, 16% change over here, so another energy. This change is a bit larger than average, suggesting weakness in the next few days. It's not that large. I would not consider this to be a COT change signal. It's ordered because of the value, 16%, but compared to the last 1 year, the past 1 year, I wouldn't consider this to be a much greater than average change size. Switching to a 5 years chart, we can acknowledge that the stress level in traders' net positions is not significant either. So overall, gasoline does not really produce any relevant commitments of traders' signals. But if we move on to large speculators COT extreme analysis, so what we're doing is we're ordering markets based on the extreme, the value. How many reports ago have we seen traders at those levels? So in this case, you can see 387 reports have passed since the Kansas City wheat large speculators were at that net position level. All time, it simply means never in the history of COT data, futures and options combined, have we seen large speculators at this extreme. This wheat is, of course, the Chicago wheat to be specific. It is an all-time commitments of traders in extreme in the net positions. So it does suggest in the medium to long run, we should expect a bottom to develop, and we should see higher prices coming. Crude oil, the Brent crude oil to be specific, we have an all-time bearish extreme over here. I would point out that when it comes to crude oil, you should always open the WTI as well, because these markets don't necessarily show the same exact situation. And on this WTI, you can see that actually, and this is the more heavily traded futures contract, there is no bearish extreme. So I would neglect the signal from the Brent crude oil in my view. Rough rice is our next market. We have an all-time COT extreme in large speculators net position and a 521 report extreme in commercials. In case of rough rice, I consider this to be a good signal, something that we can start taking into consideration. Once again, commitments of traders signals are not signals to act upon rapidly. They can be present in a market for many, many weeks, potentially month before the market actually reacts. So it's kind of a very early signal that something is gonna change. And with the rough rice market, it does say that we have reached a very low price territory, that we should expect higher prices to come. Now, that's going to be all for this review. Of course, there's so much more to do here at COTBase.com. First of all, you can look at all the market categories. You can look at other data sets to analyze. You can look at the newer COT report types, the disaggregated, the traders and financial futures COT report, or the commodity index traders report type as well. You can dig into a specific market that you are interested in. We talked about crude oil, the WTI, for instance. You can definitely do your analysis digging into the data. If you are interested in downloading the data, you can become a COTBase Pro member. It gives you an indicator on NinjaTrader, but allows you to download the data from the website as well. And we talked about the iCOT Intraday Indicator, giving you these techniques and tools that we are used to from commitments of traders analysis, but it brings it down into the shorter time frames, the intraday time frames, which can be very, very useful to help you identify the best entry and exit points. So a lot of interesting charts as examples and explanations, of course. If you have any questions, always feel free to comment underneath the video or simply send us an email to info@cotbase.com. Thank you for your attention. I wish you guys a wonderful weekend. Take care. Goodbye.